What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, taking a look at the CountyComm VIP Mystery Swag Pack Summer Edition, which is a little bit different than the last time we took a look at one of these on the channel. Previously, they offered monthly mystery packs. They changed it to quarterly to spread it out a little bit more, maybe give them more time to develop new products and just offer a greater variety in the packs. And I think that paid off in a huge way. This is probably my favorite one of these that I've ever checked out, and really great value as well. I don't know if it's the highest we've ever seen, but they aim for 2 to 3 times what they charge for it in terms of value, and this one exceeded that by quite a bit. They charge $99 for it. They also have one of those store reward programs, you know, the ones where you get points for every dollar you spend, and I've spent quite a bit with them over the years, and so I've accumulated a lot of points, used them for different things, but was able to use 3,000 of those points to get this for free. All I had to pay was shipping, so really great deal there if you're a regular shopper on their site. I'll be sure to list all of the individual items in the description with the cost breakdown and links in case you want to pick any of them up separately, as well as a link to this swag pack, which is still available at the time I'm uploading. Never done one of the quarterly ones, so not sure how that works, how long they'll be available, but I'll link to both in the description. Also have a coupon code UncommonEDC, which saves you 10% off of your entire purchase except for the mystery pack. So it doesn't work on the mystery pack, this one or the prototype ones, but does work on all the individual items within it. So definitely use that if you're already making a purchase anyway. We'll save you a little bit of money while helping the channel out a little bit as well. So with that being said, let's dive in. Item number 1 is the Armorer parts tray. This is the 6" by 4" size, which is kind of the medium size. There's a smaller and larger version as well. Now, we have gotten this before, but this is a new colorway that's not actually even for sale on the website yet. I'd describe it as a desert tan. I don't know what they're going to call it, but kind of that desert tan vibe to me. 6" by 4". I love getting these, even if it's a duplicate, because I use them a lot. So obviously they make great parts trays. You can, if you're doing some maintenance on anything with small parts, you can put them in there to keep them from running away on you. You can have multiple to keep them separated. But what I use them for is actually to line the drawers of my toolbox. And so if you have a toolbox with drawers, you know they're not usually very tall. So it can be difficult to find bins to organize them that fit vertically within the drawer. And these work really great. They're non-slip, the tray itself. There's this dimpling pattern to keep the items themselves from rolling around inside. They might roll if they're round, but that lip is going to keep them in the designated section of the drawer, and it's not that tall, it's only about a ½ inch tall. So really great item. These are $8.95 usually. I'll link to the ones that are available. I would imagine once this color becomes available, they'll just update that listing and be able to choose that option, but again, this one's not quite for sale yet. Next up, we have the Cut DIY Car Coaster Insert. These are typically a 2-pack on the site, but you only get 1 in the swag pack. So kind of nice to test it out. I have 6 cup holders in my car, so if I end up liking them, I'll have to buy a couple more. But these are basically exactly what they sound like, coasters for your cars. The circles here are basically guidelines, so you know where to cut. You size it out to fit inside of your car cup holder and then put that on the bottom. Makes just for something cool looking on the bottom. It's high vis in this case. Not all of them are as bright as this one, but this one's pretty high vis, so that's kind of nice. But the major benefit is that you can then pull these out when it's time to clean out that cup holder. Wash this in your sink. It's just a lot easier to clean than your car cup holder. And so cool to try that out. I'll definitely try it out. And if I like it, I've had my eye on those for a while. So I'm excited to get it in the box. Next up is actually 3 items, but I'm going to show them all at once because they're basically the same thing. And that's their A&P key rings. These are aircraft cables that you can use as key rings. A lot of people really like these. Now, the big benefit on these, there's a couple. One is that usually they're bigger than a key ring. This one's maybe the exception, pretty similar in size, but usually they're going to be bigger than your key ring. So there's more real estate. If you carry a lot of keys or a lot of tools on your keychain, it's just going to give you a little more real estate. The items can also move around a little bit better on this than a keychain. It's just a nice smooth material. This one is coated. There's a non-coated version as well. And so they can move around a little bit. It's a lot easier to get stuff on and off if you're taking stuff off your keychain often. You do have to remove all of the items up to the point of the item you want to remove, but it's just screw down and it can be done by hand, or you can turn this by hand. And so it's a lot easier than trying to pry apart that key ring every time you want to put something on or off of the keychain. And so these vary in price based on the size. The smallest is $1.85, the largest is $3.95. So it just kind of depends on which one you end up purchasing, but you get all 3 in the pack, which I thought was nice. Next up, we're going to enter the glow section of this video. There's a lot of glow-in-the-dark items, so we're going to just show them all together. And I'm starting with the, I guess, small ticket items, saving the big ticket, exciting items for the end of the video. But this is actually one of my favorite items in the box, and it's not a super expensive item, the Glow UGM pair of dice. And so they have a lot of different dice in different sizes and different materials: titanium, carbon fiber, ultem, copper, brass. So lots of different options. These ones are the glow-in-the-dark option, $9.95 for them. And really excited, actually. I saw that these had come out a while ago, and sorry, there's a dog hair here. They had come out a while ago, and I didn't order them because I already have a pair of glow-in-the-dark dice from another company, and so didn't end up ordering them. And this one actually had a really nice added benefit versus the other ones that I like, and I'll get to that in a second, but show it under UV so you can see what that glow looks like. Gives you a good idea of the glow, although it's not going to continue to glow after I take the UV off because of the bright lights where I record. They do glow very nicely and for a very long time. Their UGM glow is excellent, and so I hit these with the UV when I unboxed them, set them on my table afterwards, came back 45 minutes to an hour later. They were still glowing, obviously not as bright, but they were still glowing. So nice long life on that glow, and it glows very bright. But that added benefit I mentioned, so these are great if you're camping out in the dark. You can glow, they glow so you can see them easily, but they're this soft rubbery material, and so when you roll them, they're basically silent, unlike a lot of dice, which can be pretty noisy. So if someone went to bed early and you're still playing dice, it's not going to disturb them. It does make them maybe a little bit more bouncy than a normal pair of dice, but I thought that was a really cool benefit. And unlike the other pair of glow dice that I have, which are still like a hard plastic, these ones glow a little bit better. They're quieter, so definitely better quality. And they are charging $9.95 for that one. Next up is the Afterburner Glow Ring. They sell these in 5-packs, and you do get 5 in that swag pack. So these are just glow-in-the-dark rings. Not sure what the intended purpose of them are. You can string them together. You can put them on a lanyard as a bead, although they have a larger hole, so make sure to have a knot that can accommodate that. But I think they're mainly used for identifying things in the dark. So similar to those glow-in-the-dark dice, if you're out camping and you're setting something down on the ground, it's dark, you don't want to misplace it, you can set this on top of it or next to it after charging it up and be able to find it easily in the dark, set down multiple items with multiple tags, and just keep track of them and make them easy to find. You could also maybe use them as like breadcrumbs if you want to mark your trail and just charge them before you drop them. If you know you're going to be going back that same route, make sure to obviously pick them up as you're going back. But they sell this 5-pack for $3.99. So pretty cool. Let me know if there's other uses for that I'm not thinking of, but that's what I came up with based off of what we got there. Next up in the glow category, and I believe this is actually the last, oh no, that's not the last glow in the dark, but the Acme Pop Pen. So this is made by Acme, not CountyComm, but sold by CountyComm for $1.95. They've had a bunch of colors of these. This glow in the dark one's a new one. I'm not sure if it's made specifically for CountyComm. That wouldn't surprise me. Also not available yet on the site, but similar to a pocket pen, a little bit longer, different texture on the outside, maybe a more grippy. Does come with this lanyard on it. And the nice thing about these is the compact carryability of them. They're super lightweight, size of a miniature pen, but you can pull that out, flip it around, turn it into the size of a full-size pen when you're using it. So just much better ergos than a small pen offers. They're also super affordable, so if you end up losing it, you're not the end of the world. And so less likely with this one because it glows in the dark. It's not the same material as those dice, it's a hard plastic, but does glow very nicely as well. We'll hit that with the UV light. Same caveat here, probably won't be able to see it continuing to glow after I turn off that UV, but it definitely does continue to glow really nicely. So those are usually $1.95. I would assume that's going to be the same. Not 100% sure since it's not listed yet, but we will see. Last up on the glow category now is their Trident patch. So this is a Ranger Eye style patch, maybe a little bit bigger than a Ranger Eye. It looks to me like it's maybe 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches rather than 1 inch by 1 inch, but glow in the dark, that Trident. I have an orange version of this. It came with that crispy donut community club, but don't have the glow in the dark one yet, so excited to get that. $2.95 on these. Next up is an item that looks like it might glow in the dark, but doesn't, and this is their X-Pack Extreme Matrix card holder wallet. Also got one of these in that same CountyComm collaboration, but in orange. This is the first time they're offering it in white. These wallets are nice because they have 2 generous card slots, so you can easily fit 15 to 20 credit cards in here, no problem. And it's still pretty compact. It's X-Pack, so nice durable material, weather resistant. Like I said, it kind of looks like it would glow in the dark, UV reactive, but does not actually glow. So those are valued at $9.95. We're kind of rounding out the small ticket items. We have a couple more. I saved the exciting big ticket items for the end, and we have a bunch of those as well. But let's knock out the rest of these small ticket items first. So we have the Adventure CC swag key. This is a true duplicate item, one we've gotten in previous boxes. Not the end of the world though, because it's an affordable one at 99 cents. But this is basically like a hotel style key tag that has the trident on the front, the CountyComm logo with the Topo on the back. High vis orange, so if you drop it in a bush or in tall grass, it's a little bit easier to find if you have this on your keys. And so not the end of the world because it's so affordable. I'm just going to end up giving this one away most likely. I'm actually going to a meetup tomorrow, so I'll probably take it with me and see if anyone wants it. And so last on what I would consider the small ticket items is this ceramic knife sharpener, pull-through style knife sharpener. This is the only item I'd say is kind of disappointing. It's more just like a meh item. It's only $3.49, so not super expensive or taking up a lot of value. But the reason these are so bad is that they're made for one angle of knife. It only has that ceramic rod in there, but only made for one angle of knife. You use it on any other angle, you're going to do more harm than good, dull the knife more than actually sharpen it. And so these just aren't great overall. It has a keychain, nice little pinch point here, but $3.49. I'll probably never get any use out of this. I don't think I'm going to give it away because I don't necessarily recommend these. And so it's just going to be one of those items that kind of sits at the bottom of my drawer and gets forgotten about. But only real disappointing item in here, and so glad it's a small ticket item. One other item that's not listed price-wise is the sticker that came with it. This is from their collaboration with Woobin on that X3 Light-Ock. I do have that light, but not the CountyComm collab version, which looks really cool with the orange. But this came with that. It's not sold separately, so there's no assigned value, so I'm not assigning any value when I list these out either. But into what I'd consider the more big ticket items. These are some really fun ones. Really excited about every single one of these. So up first is this, what they call a sexy sliding titanium T-driver, but this one's actually brass. So I have the titanium version of this. This is a new brass version. When you buy the titanium version, it comes with a bunch of bits and a pouch. This one came by itself with a single Phillips bit, but you can see it has now this brass piece. And the thing that's really cool about this is it's pretty compact, so if you put it in a tool pack, it doesn't take up a lot of room. But also that bar slides back and forth, allowing you to get a lot of leverage. So if you have a screw that's just stuck, it can be hard with an inline screwdriver to get that out because it's hard to get as much torque as you can get with this bar. Slide it all the way to one side, turn it, and it's a lot easier with a lot less pressure to break that tension. And so that's really cool about it. Once you have it broken loose, you can use it in a T and just kind of spin it in place here with that T-driver. Still getting more tension. It's a little bit more effort than just kind of a twist once you get it loose, but really nice for breaking loose super tight screws. Also works well in tight spaces because if it's in a corner, you can turn a quarter of the way, pull it out, go back, turn a quarter of the way. That's obviously true with a inline screwdriver as well, but that can be tough to navigate in smaller corners. They sell the titanium version of this for $39.95, so I would imagine that this one will be the same price, $39.95, once that ends up releasing. Next up is another brass item, the brass peanut lighter in Topo. And I believe this is the large or extra large size, but first time we're seeing it in Topo. That laser pattern on there looks really cool. They do have a brass version without that as well, but I love the way that Topo looks, so very excited about this. This is a lighter that can sit on your keychain. You can see that hole here at the top. Screws off on the cap. And there is an O-ring in here, so it keeps it watertight, meaning that the fluid isn't going to evaporate. So you use standard Zippo fluid, but it lasts a whole lot longer because it's not going to evaporate on you. Maybe not as much capacity as your standard Zippo, but this extra large one does have a decent amount of capacity. You can use it several times without refilling it. And then it does come with the consumables kit as well. They do a good job about that. I didn't show it for most of the items, but some of the other items do come with like O-rings and stuff like that. I just didn't pull them out, but this one comes in a capsule, so you have everything you need. A change of wick which those wicks last a really long time, so shouldn't need to do it often. Same thing with the flints. You get, I think, 6 flints in there, so pretty much a lifetime supply depending on how you use your lighter, and then 2 O-ring replacements in case that O-ring deteriorates. You can keep that waterproof. So really cool item. These are usually $49.95, so definitely a high value item as well, and I just love the way it looks. I think this is a really good looking item. Next up is the titanium match compass capsule. So this one's made out of titanium, has a keychain area attachment as well. We have a button compass on the bottom, which those don't work super well. You have to make sure it's level. I don't think that's pointing the right direction right now, so not super reliable, but better than nothing, I suppose. It is a light knurling pattern on either cap. Either side can be removed. It can fit standard matches, some tinder if you want, fire starter, whatever you want to put in here. Has a pass-through option so you can open both sides at the same time. There is an O-ring on either side, and you do get 2 extra O-rings with it as well. So just a really nice kind of cash capsule here, and in titanium, so you can anodize it. Obviously make sure to remove those O-rings and the compass before you do, but would be cool anodization project as well. And this one is valued at $39.95. Now next up, we're kind of coming around to the end, but we still have 3 more items plus a bonus item that I purchased separately. And so next up is their embassy pen. First, we have the copper embassy pen. This is in a new pattern. The current generation is the Topo pattern we saw on the lighter, but this is a new pattern that's not out yet. I think the next one in line. These are serialized, so 214. And the nice thing is we got 2 pens in here, matching serial numbers, so both are 214. This embassy pen is all copper, super heavy duty, weighs a ton, and would make a nice little self-defense pressure point tool, Kubotan, whatever you want to call it. Screw off cap on here with a titanium pocket clip and just a standard pen inside of there, but super heavy duty, looks super classy. That got that nice kind of rose gold color that you get with copper, gonna patina really, really nicely, and just a beautiful pen that I love getting in this box because I'm always hesitant to spend a lot of money on pens. I won't say that I don't do it because I do it every few months. I end up caving and purchasing these kind of higher end pens, but I love getting them at this discount, and these ones were technically free since I used rewards for them. And so not only did we get the brass version, but we also got the new, or the copper version, but we also got the new brass version. And so same exact pattern on here. Hopefully that's focusing in there. Same exact pattern. Same thing on this one. You can buy it right now, the embassy pen, for $98.95, but it's going to have the Topo pattern, which also looks great. I definitely wouldn't have minded getting the Topo pattern. This one has this kind of geometric pattern that looks really cool as well. But again, if we take a look at that pocket clip, serial number 214, so it's cool that they match the serial numbers on it. And I talked to John. He's actually the one that told me some of the contents of this month's box. He's a regular viewer of the channel, and he had mentioned getting these pens and the matching serial numbers, and that was one of the reasons I ended up going ahead and ordering these. I've been trying to save money, so spending a little bit less, so it was nice to be able to get those in the reward. But these are $98.95 each, so basically $200 worth of pens. Obviously, that value is going to depend on if you're someone who would spend that on a pen or not, but you get these super classy pens, super heavy duty. They are very just kind of weighty when you get them in your hand, super impressive feeling, and just beautiful pens. So love that. Not quite the last item. I saved this one for the end just because it was taking up a lot of room on my table. Everything was stacked up on top of it, but this is their large zip bag. They have some others in different materials. I think Dynama is the other material. I don't know what this one is, but it's kind of a plasticky, rubbery type material. It's see-through, which is really cool. And so I have the other one. It's more of a frosted look, and I really like this one for just carrying different gear inside your bag. You can see exactly what's inside of it, and it's a nice size. I think this is 10 inches wide by 8 1/4 inches tall. YKK zipper. Also has this little attachment point if you want to add a strap to it, but can just dump it in your bag. Nice to be able to see it, and I always like these clear bags to be able to see through without having to open the bag and dig through it. So that is, I think, around $15 for the other versions. I would imagine this one is going to end up being the same. And so that was everything in the box. I do have one more item to show, but if we add up all of these items, if you were to buy them separately, you'll end up spending $403.62. So 4 times what we paid for the box, or if you did buy it obviously at full price, four times that price. And so $403, 400%, excellent value, and some really cool items. I love all the variations, all early prototype stuff that you can't get otherwise until it releases, and so you're getting early access to it. And maybe some of these never end up releasing. Maybe they find that the feedback on them isn't so positive and they don't end up releasing them. You got these really ultra limited edition items. So I think that's cool. Really excited about this, but would love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments below. Now, I did order one other item. This item was $40. It was just something I was looking for from other brands and found that they had two different options. I ordered the 8x8 inch one, and this is a titanium fold out grill. So just a titanium grill with these little legs that fold out. And so you can set it up there. This is the smaller of the two. I ordered that intentionally because it'll fit where I want to carry it, but they do have a larger version as well. And so you can just sit that right over the fire, cook directly on it, or put your pot on top of it, a nice stable kind of position. And so these are listed at $40. I'll put the link in this one in the description as well, just in case you want to grab that. But again, would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Joining the channel as a member all help the channel out a ton, as does using those affiliate links. As always, no pressure, but if you're making a purchase anyway, it helps out the channel a ton. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great one. Take care.